If you're virtualizing your infrastructure, there's a pretty good chance that VMware plays a key role in your stack. For many enterprise-grade environments, VMware is a trusted foundation, powering development, test, production, and hybrid workload environments. With performance, scalability, and rock-solid stability, it is the go-to solution for IT platforms managing complex infrastructure. Now, Kestra has just announced a brand new VMware plugin for the Enterprise Edition, which will make automating your infrastructure needs even easier. Teams can now orchestrate the entire lifecycle of their VMs directly inside of Kestra. With deep integration with vSphere, this means you can have operations run via vCenter or directly on ESXi hosts. This plugin helps to make IT automation much easier. So let me walk you through our new plugin so you can see it running in action. Starting things off, the plugin's broken into two categories. We've got stuff where you can run tasks directly on ESXi hosts, or you can run them via the vCenter. So I'm going to show you the ESXi hosts to begin with. This example is going to create two different VMs. One of them is going to get powered on, one of them is not going to get powered on. And then I'm going to list them out here. And I'm using plugin defaults here so I can define my server, my username and password once, and it will use them for all three tasks. So when I run this workflow, we're going to see that it's going to create two different virtual machines, one that's going to be powered on, one that's not, and they're going to be called VM-1 and VM-2. And then it's going to list those out as outputs so we can view them. So let me press execute, and then we'll see inside of the dashboard whether it created them or not. So we can see here that it's created the first VM, and it's created the second one. If we go to outputs now, we can actually view information about these VMs, so we can see the timestamp they were created and their names. But under the third task, list VMs, it will tell us the VMs that are available inside of VMware. So we can see there are three different ones. I already had one running here, which is that top one for vCenter, but we can see VM1 and VM2 now exist. So all very good. And if we go to recent tasks, we can see it just created these and it powered on VM1, but VM2 is not currently powered on. So it did exactly what we wanted it to. Now we can actually send operations via vCenter too. So here, this plugin is going to list the VMs via vCenter. So we should get hopefully the same sort of result. And again, it's going to produce these as outputs you can use in later tasks. And you'll see that because in this demo, I'm going to pass that output to a log task and then allow us to be able to then view that. So if we see here, it's got all three of those VMs here readily available from vCenter. So via vCenter, we can also clone VMs. So what I'm going to do here is take VM1, which we just created, and make a clone of it called VM1 clone. And so, and I can also tell this to power it on as well. So let's execute this, and then we'll hopefully see that cloned VM in the dashboard. So as we can see here, this task was successful. It has successfully cloned VM1 to VM1 clone. We can go to the dashboard and see we now have a new VM here, which is great. So in our next example here, what we're going to do is create a template using the vCenter part of the plugin. But to do that, we need to make sure that the VM that we're going to create a template of is turned off. Because what it's going to do is then get rid of that VM, create a template from it, and then we can use another workflow later to convert that template back to a VM. So I've set this up where we've got a task to make sure the VM is turned off. And then what we can do is then convert to a template. So this is going to turn off VM1. Once it's turned off, we can then convert that into a template. So it should be off now, and we can check in the dashboard that it is in fact turned off. And then we can see that it has in fact converted it to a template. So we'll see VM1 has disappeared here from the dashboard. But don't fret, we can take our template called VM-1, turn it back into a VM from a template, and we can power it on. So let me press execute here and we'll see it reappear in our dashboard so that we can then use it again. Great if you want to be able to create a bunch of templates and then maybe turn them all back into VMs at a certain point on a schedule. So here we can see VM1 is back and it is running. Now, not only can you automate VMware to run a number of sequential steps, you can also make an event-driven workflow that's going to listen for changes to your VMs. I'm going to use this ESXi trigger that's going to look for changes in state. And so, for example, I've got all these options we can see here, whether it's been deployed, whether it's been powered on and off, if it's been renamed, and so on. And I'm going to check to see if it's been powered on. And if so, we can then take data from that and then run it here and send me a Slack notification to let me know, by the way, your VM has been powered on, or more importantly, powered off, so you can go and investigate why that's happened. So here I've got a for each loop, because what's going to happen is this is going to poll, and I've set it to poll every minute. And so if multiple changes happen, you'll get a nice array with all those changes, and then you can use the for each loop to then send a Slack message for each of those changes. So if I was to power on multiple VMs within that minute, we'll then see that reflected in the Slack messages sent. So let's go back to the dashboard. We know that VM2 is not on. So what I'm going to do is now power that on. And so when the trigger then next runs in its minute interval, we'll get a Slack message to let us know that's the case. And while we wait for that to run, I also have one set up here for if a VM is powered off. Now, this is probably more likely what you would have if you've got all these mission critical VMs running and for some reason they power off. You want to know that so you can go and investigate and get it resolved. And this event-based trigger allows you to do that. So again, it's going to check if anything gets powered off, and I'm going to actually just set VM1 and VM1 clone to both be powered off. And as you can see here, this might cause data loss, which is why it's so important to track this sort of thing. So we can actually go to the triggers tab and we'll see that the trigger is going to actually run pretty soon, because it ran about a minute ago based on my time. So we'll just wait for that to rerun itself. And we can actually see that it did in fact run the workflow just now because of that change. If I now go back over to Slack, we can see that VM1 clone was powered off and VM1 was powered off. And it gives me that information in real time. And we'll hopefully see that for when VM2 gets powered on too, when that 1 minute interval has completed. And we can see the power on workflow did run too, let us know that VM2 was in fact powered on. So using that, you can change the interval if you want to know every hour or in even smaller intervals, such as every 30 seconds. You could do that. So lots of options here. If you want to simply just streamline the process of having to spin up a load of VMs, you can now chain that all together using a workflow. But if you also want to be able to monitor your VMs, you can use this trigger to keep an eye on them for you and notify you when something is worth looking at. Hopefully that's given you a good overview of the new VMware plugin inside of Kestra. Let us know if there's anything you'd love to see in the future and how you're going to use this in your infrastructure.